At least Sidestep Adventures got a chance to go in. What's his name, Robert? At least he had that opportunity. Why the heck am I going here? I want to see if you can drive around the old fire department. They had it blocked off last time I came out here like 2.5 years ago. I bet those barriers are still up. I'm going to have to back up. I can't believe Paleo was out here, though. Quite the discovery. Isn't that right, Kitty? You're cute. And the border, the boundary's not here. Whatever you call that thing. Here's the old dump right here. This is where I got the scars. These things. Oh, wrong finger. That's where I got that thing. Right here. They had the dumpsters right here. And everybody used to take their stuff over here. We didn't have garbage pickup around the lake. So Grandpa used to drive us out here. And Mom did later. And we would trash the stuff in the dumpsters. You know, the small ones that they could lift up. And this one time we had this broken pitcher. This glass pitcher that the spout was broken. And it was the last thing in the vehicle. And I threw it in there. That's all I did. Was just whoop. And I needed stitches. And I can still feel it too. I mean, there's that connection. We're in that same spot where it happened. And I can feel the energy of it. What the heck kind of vacation is this? I mean, all I'm doing is just driving around. This is ridiculous. I should be doing something major. Look at that, nature taking over. The old fire department. No, I'll never open that door. You know there's crazy wildlife up in here. Look at all the stuff they get to eat. Look at all the blackberries. Look, a painting. Sorry about the boring videos. Seems like I cannot up the game on the videos to make them more exciting. It's just my life. It's half chill and half something else. Let's not call it boring. Let's just call it chill. Station sponsored. Pine Mountain. I mean, look at all those panes of glass that are like arterized. About dang time I could drive around this thing. No, I'm not going to walk around. What kind of vacation is this? It's only day number 1. With 9 days left. I know you're not interested. It's just part of my life. And that's the thing, though. Like I told you about a connection of the scar and the feeling of it coming back when I pulled up to where the dumpsters were. Just like this place. We used to have little fairs up here. Halloween, that kind of thing. springtime, people set up shop. You come out and buy stuff, whatever. Cotton candy, all that kind of stuff. They had hay rides in the back. Why can't it be like that again? I know times change, but why can't it be like that again? It's depressing to me. It is. It'd be lovely to bring stuff like that back. Every now and then. Things were so different back then. Close-knit community. Now everything's all separated. And things like this get neglected. And once they tear it down, it takes a part of you with it. All those times going in to see the big old fire trucks inside. It was like a museum when I was a kid. Then they had the haunted house. Never forget walking in that door. They had all the strobe lights and stuff. Those giant fire trucks. Well, they were giant when you were a kid. The ones that date back to like the 60s and all. And they still used them. And those giant fire trucks that were like dump trucks. You had the water in the back. They looked like dump trucks. Yeah, but when they take this place down, it's going to take a part of me with it. It's almost like a part of me disappears. Just like those curtains. I know they've been hanging up there since we were here, back in the late 80s. No, you don't see a ghost. You guys crazy. I just had a thought. What if that pitcher, that spout, that part of the broken pitcher, what if that was still out there? You know what I mean? What if that was still out there? And it's been out there ever since 1985, 86. That would definitely be quite the artifact. It'd be nice to find some old houses to explore in, you know. Some old abandoned houses, structures, could be anything. Barns. You know they're out here. I just don't have time to look. When I used to come down here during my summer breaks, stay for about a week or something, I didn't have a lot of money to spend. I didn't. So I just drove around and tried to do chill stuff, and that was it. Stuff that didn't cost a lot of money. Ain't nothing like coming back home, but it's really not home. It's just where we grew up. These are like the locations where my grandpa used to take me. Out in these lands, these fields and all, and watch them fly their model airplanes. But my grandpa didn't do that. He was like in his late 70s. Mid to late 70s. He used to take me out to specifically watch the hobbyists out in these zones, these giant fields where they had these concrete paths and stuff, concrete slabs. those times coming back out here during my summer breaks. It's like that's all I did was just drive around and pick up aluminum cans. It always felt like I was doing community service. I think I collected 2 large garbage bags full of aluminum cans out in this area. Up and down. I drove up and down every single dirt road I can find. And just get out and look at the landscape, walk around a little bit where no one was. And I would pick up all the aluminum cans. What a waste of gas. I bet you already know where we're headed. It's the only major place out here, and it's very historic. No, they're not going to be open. The last time they were open that I know of was 2015 when I came here during a weekday. I got to take a tour of the place. Well, after they redid it, I think I took close to about 350 pictures inside and out with my DSLR camera. Got some nice ones too. Look at me out here looking all crazy. Quite the place. Never forget it. Can't believe this thing is almost 100 years old. Thank the Lord for that. This is one place I definitely don't want to lose when it comes to my life. I guess you can say where it all began with education. Not counting preschool and kindergarten. Well, this was kindergarten. What am I talking about? We were here till 1990, 1989, basically. Until we went to the Hamilton School. You know, Harris County Carver Middle School, whatever that was. And this place right here, I'll never forget it. The new elementary school was under construction. The thing was ready to go. I'll never forget that last day of school, leaving out of here. And that thing was complete. But we were headed to a different level of the game. Different level of the game when it comes to the game of life. Education. The levels, like a video game. And we didn't even have Nintendo back then either. We couldn't afford it. A lot of memories from this place. You're going to tell me to get out and take a walk around. Well, if I was anybody else, I would look legit. Maybe, man, you know this tree right here has recorded all my memories. It's like an antenna. This willow oak. Thanks for holding on to my memories up in this place. And you know they will be talking. All you gotta do is just ask. They know what you did good and what you did bad. What you did bad. They know everything. Imagine all the memories, all the kids. I know this tree's only about 45, 50 years old. But at least they got to record that time, those lives. All these leaves resemble a memory, a major memory that I'll never forget. I wonder what it can say about me, though. I wonder what it would tell about me. $1930, almost 100 years old, 7 more years to go. A place that we cannot afford to lose. I do the shadiest things. How come I'm always the only one out? I'm trying to remember this. I remember that one time that they were open on that weekday, summer break of like 2015 or something like that. 2 cars sent out here, 2 ladies inside, the librarians. I walked right in the door. And I said, can I take a tour? So I can remember what I used to do when I was a kid, a long time ago, back in the mid-80s, to like 89, 88. Talk about getting a lot of pictures with my DSLR camera, inside and out. Perfect sunny day. It's almost like I was walking in this place like I was a kid again, you know? Just a lot taller. Still immature. There's the cafeteria right there. There's the old gym. And the field in the back. I remember everything like it was yesterday. There was this giant tree down there at the end of the field, at the bottom, and it was recessed. And it was pulled down, had the roots exposed, everything. You know, it was vertical. The roots were like vertical. And all the kids were like playing on it. And I'll never forget, I was towards the top of the roots, you know, when everybody climbed up on it. And I saw a scorpion on the roots. See, I'll never forget anything. I mean, this one time in the gym, we were playing like with the little bouncy balls and stuff. And one of the kids was running real fast on the concrete floor. You know, it's real slippery. Depends on what you wear. And he slipped and he fell and went head first into one of the one of the steel columns in the corner. Head first, banged into it, and got a slit right in the middle of his forehead. I'll never forget anything. Neither will these trees. They know more than I do. They remember more than I do. I always will. You just got to come back out and ask. Yeah, but the ladies were just blown away when I walked up in there. telling them all about my experiences. They said everybody who comes in to try to, reminisce about the good old days was always in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. They said they never have anybody as young as me. At that time, I was in my mid-30s. But they said they had never had anybody come in as young as me, walking through trying to reminisce. They said people don't do that kind of thing. But why not? Because I hated school? I'm not going to say it was the best time. But if you try to forget and you don't try to reminisce, then what good is life? What is life? No, they're not going to be open. They're always parked out here on the side that I know of. Hey, another painting. Ain't nothing like that art. Maybe I can get some close-ups. Imagine how crazy I would look. That's a nice one. Time to get these pictures. Look at me getting on my hands and knees, acting all crazy out here. Look at that. Oh, dang, I can't see the screen. What would somebody think if they saw me doing something like this? Look at me. I don't see any cameras. Dang, look at that. I wish I could trace out this entire location like I'm at, like the good old days. These trees of life were training me ever since I even set foot on this planet. Watching my every move. Feeding me info, knowledge. And recording everything I've ever done. Every step I took. Play it off. Play it off. I'm trying not to look suspicious. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice to walk around the field again? Go out there and, not play, just walk around. Can't do that these days. Times are changing. Things are locked down. Everything is fenced off. It's almost like you can't do it again. No fun. I know you want me to stay. I want to stay too. Sit under the tree. Try to see what they can tell me about myself. Something that I don't know. Something that I might have forgotten about my childhood.